Where are we?
We're at African Safari.
Whoa, let's go take a look.
Keep the right hand side of the truck. Watch those hands on your feet lengths. Those doors are sliding closed. Asante-san awarded. That does mean thank you. As we say here in Harambe, Twin Day, which means let's go. Jumbo friends, my name is Emma, and I'm going to be your safari driver today out here on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Now, while we are out here today, I do have just a few rules for you. The first one being that you must remain seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside this vehicle at all times for me. That includes while the vehicle's in motion, but also while the vehicle is stopped. My second rule is just going to be that we're not going to scream, shout, whistle, clap, snap, hoot, holler, or make any other loud noises at any of the animals out here today. Keeping in mind that these are very real wild animals, and we just want to be very courteous and respectful of them as we visit their homes today. But if we follow those two simple rules, we're going to have a super great time out there today. And if you do look above your head, you will see an animal spotting guide that is going to show you some of the animals that we may see out there today. Now, we probably will not see all of them, but I usually get some pretty good luck. With all that being said, though, looks like you're getting the all clear from the warden, so we are going to go ahead and enter the reserve. Now, we are starting our journey off today in the Little Ituri Forest, and the Little Ituri Forest is going to be home to some of our more solitary and shy creatures. So don't keep those eyes peeled because they may be trying to hide. Down here to the left, there is a black rhino over here, and black rhinos are very solitary and shy. You're typically not going to see them hanging out with other black rhinos. They tend to hang out by themselves. They're also one of these smaller rhino species. They typically only grow to be about 3,000 pounds. Now, they have a prehensile lip, just like the okapi has a prehensile tongue that they are going to use to pull leaves off of the bushes and trees. And that pointed lip is one of the big differences between them and white rhinos. So black rhinos have a very pointed lip, white rhinos have a very wide lip. Now, the bongos are so good at hiding that they are known as the ghost of the forest. But we're going to go ahead and leave the Ituri Forest, and we're going to make our way into the Safi River. And the Safi River is going to be home to some of the more aquatic animals we have out here on our reserve. So you want to keep your eyes down towards the water because that is where they are going to be hanging out. Now, if you look over here to the left, you're going to see some grayish colored birds over here on the island. These are pink-backed pelicans. And pink-backed pelicans do get their name from the pink color that their feathers and skin turn during mating season. Almost like they are blushing. Now, they are one of only 8 species of pelicans left in the world today, and they are one of these smaller pelican species. However, they do have a really wide wingspan. Their wingspan is about 9 feet wide, which is the same as that saddle-billed stork, the width of the canopy above your head. And a group of pelican is known as a pod. So we do have a pod of pelicans out here on our reserve. Down here to the left, there are some Nile crocodiles down here. And Nile crocodiles do grow to be about as long as a giraffe is tall. It's about 16 feet long. Now, they only have to eat a full meal about once a week, but they can actually go up to a month without eating. And that is because when they eat around half of their body weight. Now, we are getting ready to make our way down into the savannah, but before we get down there, I do want to point out this really weird-looking tree over here to the right. Looks like it may have been planted upside down, but this tree's actually right side up. This is the baobab tree over here. And the baobab tree is also known as the tree of life. And it gets that name because the trunk of that tree can hold up to 30,000 gallons of water in it, and it will actually go leafless up to 9 months out of the year in order to conserve some of that water. But speaking of the savannah, like I said, we are now making our way down into the savannah, and this is where we're going to spend the majority of the rest of our time out here. Now, the first animals we're going to see as we make our way down here are these Ankole cattle. Now, Ankole cattle are also known as Watusi cattle, and they do get that name from the Watusi tribe that first domesticated them. So they are one of the only domestic animals we have out here on the reserve. Now, their horns do look really big and heavy, but they're surprisingly nice and light. Each horn is going to average around 2 pounds each, and they are almost hollow inside. They have a honeycomb-like structure inside of them that allows their blood vessels to run up and down through them. Over here to the left is the hyena over here. Now, hyenas, a lot of people think are part of the feline or the canine class, but they're actually a part of their own subspecies known as hyenidae. Do make sure we're staying fully seated, friends. Now, a group of hyenas is known as a clan, and within the clan, the females will always be ranked higher than the males. So even the lowest ranking female will be ranked higher than the highest ranking male. And you'll actually see that in their size as well. So female hyenas are larger than male hyenas are. Over here to the right, there is a Maasai giraffe over here. Now we can tell this is a Maasai giraffe based off of looking at its very irregular spot patterns. So their spots look kind of like puzzle pieces that don't quite fit together. Now, giraffes are the tallest land mammals in the world, growing to be anywhere between 16 to 20 feet tall. However, they do have the same amount of vertebrae in their neck that we as humans have. Over on this hill here to the right, there are some wildebeest over here. Now, wildebeest do travel in some of the largest herds in the world. They're going to travel in herds of up to 1.5 million. Now, those herds are in fact so large that they can be seen from space. So a group of wildebeest is known as an implausibility or a confusion. And looks like there's some more giraffe ahead to the left. You might also notice that one is a little bit shorter than everybody else. That's one of our baby giraffes. And when baby giraffes are born, they actually have a 6-foot fall to the ground, which is literally going to knock them into taking their first breath. But they're usually up and running only an hour after birth. Now, up ahead on this island to the left, looks like there's some greater flamingos up here. And greater flamingos are the largest of all the flamingo species. They are also the lightest colored pink. However, when they hatch, they're actually more of a grayish color. It's going to take them about 2 full years to get that pink coloring, and they're going to get it from the brine shrimp that they eat, which contains beta-carotene. And a group of flamingos is known as a flamboyance. So there's going to be a flamboyance of flamingos over here. Now, up ahead to the left, there is a cheetah walking around over here. And cheetahs are the fastest land mammals in the world. They're going to reach speeds of about 60 miles per hour. And they're going to hit that speed in about 3 seconds. So super, super fast. However, they cannot hold it for very long. So cheetahs are easily chased off by other predators. But luckily they have learned to adapt for this. So cheetahs are going to be the only diurnal cats, which means they're going to be awake during the day and they're going to sleep at night. Now up here to the left, there's a warthog up here in the very left corner, it's behind that tree. Now, warthogs are very closely related to the domestic pig, and they are one of the largest burrowing animals. So they're actually going to back into their burrows and leave their heads out as a sign of aggression. But we're now entering into Magadi Glen, and Magadi Glen is going to be home to the warden and the warden's outpost. So now the warden's outpost is going to be the newest area of our reserve, and it was put here in order to promote coexistence between us as humans living among wild animals. So the warden lives here, and they live among all the animals that live out here in the reserve as well. They live in peace and harmony. Now, unfortunately, the warden's post does mean that our safari is coming to an end. And unfortunately, a lot of the animals that we did see out here today are endangered. However, there are a lot of different ways for us to help out. So the first thing we want to do to help save animals is not actually work on repopulating their species, but work on regrowing their habitats. So now we are getting ready to approach the unloading dock. So make sure you're checking those rows for any loose belongings, because you don't want to leave anything behind here with me. Once again, my name is Emma, and it has been an absolute pleasure being your safari driver today out here on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. And here in Harambe, we don't like to say goodbye. That's far too final and far too sad. So instead we say Kwaherini, which means to go well. So go well and go wild up there, my friends. Have a great rest of your day here at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Watch those hands on feet legs. Those doors are sliding open. Kwaherini, Asante Sana. Thank you so much, friends. Have a wonderful rest of your day here.
Thank you.
Well, honey, what do you think?
That was awesome. That was amazing. That was an awe. I loved it so much. It was, if you can hear me, it was the best thing in the world. I love it.
Okay. More
Bye.
from Animal Kingdom. Keep up.